patch 6.0 approaches with the Omens of Destruction DLC, here's a handful of the new things and changes coming with it. So you know the luscious green jungle that currently covers the Indon Koresh region of the map? Well, it got expanded into just a little bit. From the Cathayan side of things, there's a new province down here, the Cathayan Hinterlands. It is a 4-settlement province, quite tightly packed together, and is a small expansion from where we were before, about this line. Everything up here we all had before, and everything south of this line is all the new stuff. And it's a pretty nice position overall, quite defensible, surrounded by mountains. You can't be attacked from all different directions, it's pretty much one or two. And you might be tempted to think that because they've expanded in this direction a little bit that maybe Indon Koresh are coming, but sadly probably not. I do know the reason why this province is here, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell you, but I wouldn't worry about it, it's not anything exciting anyway. Always cool to get a nice little expansion to the map though. Next, a pretty exciting change for all us stat nerds, as the fatigue of a unit is now reflected on the unit card. Take note of these exhausted armored Kossars and notice how much their stats are down because they are exhausted. Minus 20 armor, minus 4 speed, minus 10 melee attack, minus 4 melee defense, fatigue doesn't affect weapon strength, and a minus 4 off their charge bonus. Now these are all percentages off their baseline stats, and you can see how heavily a unit is affected when they're tired, and how important it can be to not let them get tired, or how powerful vigor restoring abilities and spells can be, or how perfect vigor is one of the strongest attributes in the game. And with a couple of examples here, Marauders of Khorne, I've got a fresh unit and an exhausted unit. And if we look at the red tabs just outside the unit card, you can see the difference in the stats. The biggest hits going to armor and melee attack. How does armor go down when you get tired? It's game logic, shut up. And the same thing with Bloodletters here, a fresh unit stats compared to an exhausted unit stats. Again, pretty big hits to armor and melee attack, but also charge bonus for the Bloodletters. And the numbers go up even more with the more elite of a unit it is with their bigger stats. Blood Crushers here, they've lost 25 of their 100 armor, so I guess that means it's 25% off armor when you're exhausted. I forget what all the percentages are or whether they've changed in Warhammer 3, I don't know, but they're all percentages of whatever the unit stats are. And as you can see, pretty hefty. Big charge bonus lost there as well for the Blood Crushers. So yeah, it's pretty significant to be able to see the stats and to really know what's going on between two units and why one might be winning or losing. Of course, there's nothing actually really new here in terms of what's going on under the hood, but it's nice to actually know and be able to see those numbers now. As it is with being able to see terrain penalties as well. When large units move through woodland, they get slowed down. But by how much? Who knows? Well, now we can actually know because the tooltip will tell us minus 14 speed for this cavalry moving through the wood, minus 4 melee attack as well. And the same for infantry fighting in water. Their speed goes down by minus 6 in the case of these halberdiers and minus 5 for their melee attack. So yeah, really nice to be able to get a better handle on what's happening to units and how they're being affected by various situations during battle. Now, before we move on to the third thing, may I present you the opportunity to save some money on the Omens of Destruction DLC if you are planning to make a purchase. I'm affiliated with the game retailer Games Planet, who are a legit non-dodgy retailer by the way, who will be selling the Omens of Destruction DLC for slightly cheaper than Steam, most likely, if you use my promo code ZERK. There's a link in the description. They've also got other stuff on sale right now, Space Marine 2 and a bunch of the other Total War Warhammer DLCs and games. You can buy the Omens of Destruction as individual factions if you want to, or the whole DLC as one, just like last time. So yeah, you can save some money if you go through Games Planet, and it will support this channel. I do get a small cut of any sales. That will help keep beard food on the table and elves in the ground. Don't ask me how much it's going to be though, I don't know. CA haven't announced it yet, I guess similar to last time. There also seems to be no pre-order on this DLC for whatever reason that CA's doing, but it should be live today though at 3 PM GMT. As I say, check it out below. Thanks to anyone who does. Next, the magic laws of Little War and Big War have had a visual overhaul and a few changes to some spells. Here's what Gaze of Mork looks like now. It looks kind of like a couple of eyeballs, and it's now just a single projectile technically, even though it's 2 eyeballs. Before it was kind of similar to Vindictive Glare, being a bunch of different projectiles, but now it's one. It'll smash through infantry, maybe take on some larger targets as well. Here's Edbutt. This one's changed a little bit. It was a bit slower before, now it's more bang, like a big shotgun blast or something. Does a nice bit of damage, stops those elves moving. Here's Fist of Gork. It's, would you believe it, a fist, a big metal fist. Here we go, a couple of big old crossed choppers. I like how clear all these are above the units as well. They give you a clear indication of what's going on. Here's Brain Burster, a little more sparkly. Nice bit of explosive damage for those lighter units. And then, of course, my favorite, the good old Foot of Gork. You can't really see the Gork figure too well on this sky, but you can see the boot pretty clearly, and that's what's going to do the stomping and the absolute killing of elves. Fucking wonderful. So that was all the big War spells. Now for the little War, we've got Sneaky Stab in here, a couple of daggers above the unit, again, nice and clear. And then we've got Night Shroud, a little mushroom pops up and sprinkles magical mushroom dust all over your boys. Now they're all sparkly green, which doesn't really help them hide very well, which is the point of the spell. And then good old Vindictive Glare, the classic, still multiple projectiles. It looks a little more funky now, looks like Warp Fire actually. Still functions, mostly the same. And then Gork'll fix it, looks like this now, very webby. Green and webby. Very clear to see though, so if it's being used against you, you should be able to avoid it. And this might be the best one of the bunch. The Curse of the Bad Moon looks very cool now, very creepy. It makes me slightly uncomfortable and feels a little bit intrusive, especially with its evil cackle. And lastly, Itchy Nuisance, some spirally whirligigs. Not quite as clear as some of the other ones, but it'll do nice. So yeah, nice to see a couple more older laws modernized with new fancy graphics. Next, Demons Reforged. Sorry if I'm repeating myself for those who watched yesterday's video, but this is a huge mechanic for demon factions. You see here how 5 of my 6 Nurgling units are going to die. Well, with Demons Reforged, there is a chance that they will be saved. You can see here that 2 of my units did manage to get saved, so those demons aren't wasted and their ranks lost, although these are fresh ones, so they haven't lost anything. But yeah, this is a huge mechanic for demon factions. That includes the 4 Monogod factions, the Demons of Chaos faction, and the Warriors of Chaos faction, if they get any demons as well. So yeah, really nice to have the potential that your demon units get saved if they should die in a battle, because it's easy to do when you leave demons fighting. Sometimes you don't notice how much they're getting beaten up, and then they start crumbling away, and then they're gone. So whether you fight a battle or auto-resolve a battle, there's a chance that your demons will be reforged and saved. You can also increase the chances and the health they potentially get back through technology and a few other means. So this makes demons a little bit more of a reliable pick. Like mortal units, you know they're going to rout and run away before they get completely wiped out, so you have a chance to save them. You don't get that luxury with demons, but now you get something that will maybe save them. And lastly, a bit of a smaller, less exciting one, but it's a victory for me because I was probably one of the main people complaining about this. The long victory condition settlement requirement number has gone down by only 10. It was 70, now it's 60, meaning, hey, it's not so much of a slog to finish a long campaign now, although 60 is still too much in my opinion. I think 50 would have been better. They also said they put the short victory conditions number down to 30, but I'm pretty sure it was always 30, so not sure what went on there. But yeah, a step in the right direction. I think it could come down lower to maybe 50 and 25 would make more sense. Because I think the majority of people probably don't reach the long victory objectives. I can't remember the last time I saw a victory screen because I can't be bothered to raise 70 fucking settlements. Unless they're elven ones, obviously. But yeah, if you want to go for the achievements for completing campaigns, it just got a little bit easier. But 10 settlements, yeah, you know, it's not really enough. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the Games Planet links if you would like to buy the game at a discount and support this channel. Otherwise, I will see you in the future.